Hey yo, what's up and welcome. I'm the one and only WestCoastKing, and welcome to a video on the Crew 2 today. I know, something a little bit different, switching things up, but I wanted to make this video on this game because this is the game that I'm playing right now. I'm enjoying the Crew 2. It's been a lot of fun. I've been grinding a lot of races. I've already completely beaten the game. It doesn't take very long, but I still enjoy the racing mechanics somewhat on this game, but that's also kind of the reason why I wanted to make the video as well. Is the racing mechanics I found a little bit interesting. Now, one of the disciplines in the game that I've found to be one of the most fun, and it kind of surprised me because I've never really been into this before, but it's rallycross, which is basically dirt racing with cars. It's a lot of fun in the Crew 2, and I've been doing a lot of races in that discipline, and I've also been testing out a few different cars, and today we're going to be maybe exposing some things here. I'm not sure. There's probably been a video made on this already, but I found some very interesting things when it came to rallycross cars. So here are the three cars that we're going to be running with today. We have the Ford Focus RS in the front there. The back left, we have the Ford Focus RS RX. And on the back right, we have the Citroen C3 racing car. I chose these three cars because the RS, the basic RS, is the cheapest car in the discipline. The RS RX is the most expensive. And the Citroen C3 racing car, it has the course record for the course we're going to be testing these on. So I thought I'd throw that one in there. To be honest, I'd never used the Citroen before until today when I was making this video. I've ran it one time on this course, and the results were quite interesting. So let's get into this thing, and I'll show you what the whole broken mechanic thing I'm talking about is. And for this test, all cars will be set to the performance level 208. So here it is, the Citroen 208, the Focus RS 208, and the Focus RS RX at 208. All cars at the same performance level. Does that mean that they're all the same speed? No, not really. Actually, the RS and the Citroen are a little bit faster in the top speed, but I think the Focus RS RX has quite a bit more acceleration. So they're all set to the same level. Now we just got to run the tests. The course we're going to be testing this on is going to be Dallas Tiger Tonic event. It's one of my favorite courses in the game. Very, very quick. One of the shortest courses as well. And I've run it quite a few times. I know all of the ins and outs of this course, but honestly, you don't need to know the ins and outs if you're going to use the technique that I'm going to show you towards the end of this thing. Alright, so to start off with, we're going to be starting with the RS. We're going to be doing basic laps in each one of these cars to get a base time. I'm going to run it like I would run a normal race in this car, or just a normal race around this track. I'll be using this Joker lap thing every single time because theoretically it's the quickest way around the track. So yeah, let's set base times in each one of these cars and see how quickly I can do it just running the course normally. Alright, so there is the first one done. The Ford Focus RS, about a 2-minute 10-second lap, or 2-minute 10-second total time. Not too bad. That's actually one of the quicker times I've had on this course running it straight up like that. Alright, so now we have the Ford Focus RS RX, the most expensive car in the discipline. So theoretically, it should be the best. Let's see what kind of a time I can put down with this car. Alright, and across the line in the RS RX, a 208, which is not bad. I'll be honest, when I did this before I started recording, I got a 211 with this car, but that was one of the cleaner laps that I've run, or cleaner runs that I've had with this car, so not too bad. A 208 for the RS RX. Alright, and now for the Citroen. It does hold the top 3 spots for the fastest times on this course. I've never done a straight up run with this car on this course, so we'll see how fast of a time I can post with this car. Alright, here we come into the home stretch. This car is definitely going to be the fastest of the 3. Easily a 206. 2 seconds faster than the RS RX, which was 2 seconds faster than the Ford Focus RS. So interesting results already. The most expensive car in this discipline is not the fastest. So now we're going to be switching back to the Ford Focus RS, theoretically the cheapest and worst car in this discipline. But now we're going to use my secret tactic of wall riding. It is stupidly broken. You can see the speedometer through there. I didn't even slow down. As a matter of fact, I was increasing speed as I was grinding along the wall. There's no reason to run, especially rallycross races, normally when you can use this tactic. And rallycross is the best type of race to use this tactic with because of the smooth walls and the course that's laid out for you. You just grind the walls. Watch the speedometer here. I'm actually increasing speed. I know I'm using my NOS at the same time, but you increase speed as you grind along the walls. It is a million times faster. So let's see what kind of a time I can put in with the Ford Focus RS while using this tactic. All right, into the home stretch here and across the line. A 151, we'll call it a 152. It's a 151.9. So a 152. We took our time from a 210 with this car running it straight up to a 152. We took 18 seconds off of our time. So now we're going to jump back in with the Ford Focus RS RX, the most expensive car in this discipline. We've already established it's not the fastest. Even running it straight up, the Citroen is quicker than this car. But let's see how fast we can do this grinding walls. The problem that I find with this car, and I'll see if I can give you an example of it somewhere on this lap, is that sometimes it gets sideways when you do the wall grinding tactic, which makes it extremely inconsistent. It could be the fastest car if it did not start getting sideways on me and slow down. So that first lap was actually pretty clean. That was a blazing lap, as a matter of fact. But let's see what the final time is once it's all said and done. All right, here we go down the stretch. 151, 152. Actually, the fact that it's faster than the Ford Focus RS, it got about the same time. It was a 152. The Ford Focus RS was maybe a half second faster. And that's just because I think on 2 or 3 corners, this car got a little bit sideways and created a little bit of drag against the wall and really slowed me down. But that's the problem with this car. So we've established this car, the most expensive car in this class, is not the fastest if you run it straight up. The Citroen is faster. And it's not even the fastest if you try to use the cheating method of grinding walls. The base RS is faster than this. But let's move on to what has been the fastest car so far, the Citroen, and see how it does riding the walls. All right, the Citroen it is. It has been the star of the show today, which surprised me. Like I said, I'd never driven this car until I started doing this video today and found out how fast this car is, and it is lightning fast. The time to beat, though, is about a 152. Let's see what this car can do it in. All right, we're coming up to the final turn here. You can already tell this car's faster because I'm about to lap somebody. There we go, home stretch now. We're at a 145, 146, 147. We got just over a 148 with this car grinding the wall. So not only is it faster straight up, it is miles faster using the wall ride technique. And I'll just go ahead and show you the leaderboards. My fastest time, that's the second time I've run this car using the wall ride technique. My fastest time was the first time I ran it with a 147. First time I'd ever driven the car using the technique, I ran a 147, which happens to be the 47th fastest time in the world, or at least I think in the United States, with this car. 47th fastest in the United States. That's not too bad, having never driven the car before in my life. So there you have it. There are the results. On the left-hand side, you can see what the cars ran running the courses straight up, which car was fastest. It was the Citroen by a mere 2 seconds. Not a whole lot in that. Maybe if I'd run it a little bit cleaner with the other two cars, it would have been a little bit closer. Then again, I think I could have shaved a couple of seconds off with the Citroen as well. And then on the right-hand side, you can see the clear difference with the wall riding technique. It is miles faster. Even the Citroen dropped almost 20 seconds off of its time. It is a ridiculous technique in this game. Why it's in here, I don't know. Especially for a game that prides itself on punishing bad racing. If you drift and get sideways in this game, you lose a lot of speed. You want to be taking the best clean racing lines. But instead of doing that, you can just ride walls. Now, I don't know if this technique works with other classes as well. I've experimented a little bit with hypercars. At least the one car that I used was the Porsche Spider. It didn't work with that car, but the Spider may have the same thing that the Focus RS RX has going on, and it just doesn't work with that technique. Maybe other cars do. I don't know. I might try that out as well. But let me know if you want to see maybe me try some other cars out, some other classes out with this technique and try to figure out which car would be best to use using the wall riding techniques. But that is it for this one. If you did enjoy it, make sure to let me know by leaving a like below. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you when we come back with some more of the Crew 2. See ya.